I'm Graham Elwood. You are watching The Political Vigilante. Seattle, August 9th, doing Political Vigilante Live. August 11th, doing stand-up comedy. Tickets are below at grahamelwood.com. Also support the show at the Patreon link, everybody. Here's an article in ThinkProgress.org. And a new study just came out to show that actually fracking and natural gas are not, they're any climate solution that they think that it has, it's all been wiped out. And I'll go into the reasons. Because there's methane leaks from natural gas production, and they've kind of tried to sell us that natural gas is sort of the bridge to get us from oil and coal into renewables. Like, we need natural gas as this bridge. That's how they always try to sell it to us. And this study shows no, it does not. It does not. It does not at all. Natural gas could warm the planet as much as coal in the short term. The Journal of Science itself summed up the 24-author study it just published. So the 24 authors put this study together. The Journal of Science kind of went in there and summed it up. The findings, and the media, the way they covered this, that's part of the story. But the findings confirm that if a coal-fired plant is replaced with a gas-fired plant, there is no net climate benefit for at least 2 decades. The missing piece in both the study and the coverage, though, is that countless studies have made it clear that natural gas does not just displace dirty coal in the power system, it displaces many carbon-free sources of power, including nuclear and renewables. So, see how they'll take a study and they'll just put a little thing out there, and then we all, well, natural gas isn't that bad. It's clean burning. Natural gas is clean burning. How we get it is fracking. And we've talked numerous times on this show, various stories from Colorado and Oklahoma and other places where fracking causes, we've had explosions, we've had leaks, we've had earthquake increases as a result of fracking. Contaminated water supplies. That's how you get natural gas. So I'm going to read some of the science behind this. Natural gas is mostly methane, CH4, a super potent greenhouse gas which traps 86 times as much heat as CO2 over a 20-year period. That's why many studies find that even a very small leakage rate of methane from the natural gas supply chain, production to delivery to combustion, can have a large climate impact, enough to gut the entire benefit of switching from coal-powered plants to gas for a long, long time. So there's no bridge. They keep wanting some carbon fossil fuel bridge to, well, we still got it. They still want to keep it going, keep that game going. I've talked about this before. The carbon bubble. The carbon industry, oil, gas, coal, they're worried about, it's not when the resources run out, it's when long-term investment seems not that profitable. When big-time investors go, you know what, 20 years from now, we're not going to be using these, so I'm pulling my money out now. It's a carbon bubble. I've said this numerous times. The governor of the Bank of England gave a speech 3 years ago now, warning against this. It could collapse the global economy. So they keep trying to put this bridge and all this other stuff. That's why they need pipelines. Pipelines are more about the image, the projection. See, we got to build new pipelines, so oil is a good investment. We need it. We need your money. Versus country after country after country is banning gas cars by 2025, 2030, 2035. India is doing this. We've covered so many stories about this, and we'll continue. So this is the other thing. As I just said, studies show that even small leakage rates show that the switch from coal to natural gas isn't good. That's the hypothetical small leakage rates. But actually, Many studies have found that leakage rates are not small at all, especially as fracking has become more popular. A review of more than 200 earlier studies confirms that U.S. emissions of methane are considerably higher than official estimates. This came from a 2014 Stanford review research on methane leaks. In November, another study found that methane emissions escaping from just New Mexico's gas and oil industry are the equivalent of the climate impact of approximately 12 coal-powered power plants. In January, NASA found that most of the huge rise in global methane emissions in the past decade was in fact from the fossil fuel industry. Shocker. Shocker! And that rise was substantially larger than previously thought. The latest study says the assessment of methane emissions from the U.S. oil and gas supply chain has authors from 16 different institutions, including the NOAA, National Institute of Standards and Technology, Stanford, Harvard, Princeton, and Carnegie Mellon. The study found methane emissions are so large they produce radiative forcing over a 20-year time horizon comparable to CO2 from natural gas combustion. The other thing the study found, natural gas plants don't replace only high carbon coal plants. Gas plants commonly replace very low carbon power sources like solar, wind, and nuclear. They've been getting rid of solar and wind for natural gas. If you ever had a doubt about, well, maybe natural gas, it's clean, they sell you on clean burning. It's like, when they make those comparison about an electric car and a gas car, and they say they're the same, they always leave out the extraction of the oil, the refining of it, the distribution of it. All that is so much worse than what it takes to make an electric battery and then to charge it. They always conveniently leave that thing out. Natural gas is the future. They try to sell you on, we're closing down the coal plants to put the gas plants in their place. Not necessarily. They're shutting down solar and wind plants. Nice. Good. Good. So get rid of the things that we know are 100% clean in favor of the thing that isn't that clean. Sounds like good old American ingenuity to me. The effect has largely wiped out almost the entire climate benefit from increasing natural gas use in the utility sector if the leakage rate is only 1.2%. And that was back when renewables were more expensive than they are now. Renewables are way more cost effective now. I keep talking about this. The thing about renewable energy, it's actually a technology, and as is the case with any technology, it gets faster, it gets more efficient, it gets cheaper, smaller, right? This phone I'm talking to you on is more powerful than the computer they sent people to the moon on in 1969. So as they make solar panels more effective, they generate more power, wind turbines on down the line. So solar and wind, green energy, you can't stop it. It's getting better, it's getting more efficient, they're finding more uses for it. Pretty soon they're going to make an electric car that's, I don't know why they don't do this already, that has solar panels on the roof and the hood. Like, that's going to happen. So this article and this video, I want to acknowledge that fracking is part of the climate problem. It is not a solution. They want you to think it's a solution, but any solution that's coming from the oil companies, it's bullshit. You know it is. That's why you come to this show. That's why you come to YouTube. Please support the channel, like and subscribe, share the videos. If you're watching on Daily Motion, start spreading it out there. Spread it on Steam It. Positive reviews on iTunes. All that stuff helps. Thank you so much.